In this video, we're going to animate the app portion of this project. So what I did in the original one was have the different tabs sort of open and close. And as they open and close, the different sort of icons in the background became more opaque. There's one tool that I want to mention, or one column that we haven't gone over before, and it's this column right here called the Shy Guy column. And if you click on this, nothing's going to happen right now, but you see that this little icon of this little shy guy, this shy person, hides. And this allows us to clean up our workspace when we have layers that we don't necessarily need to see anymore. And so, for example, this text information right here is great. It's already parented to the night layer below, and we really don't need to see it anymore. So if I click that off and then I enable the shy layers up here, it makes it disappear. It's still here. We can still see it in our composition, but it just cleans it up a little bit. So if I click this off for all of our text layers, and even for now, we can do it for our sun and our moon and cloud layers. What happens is we get a much cleaner timeline. And once you see if it's enabled and you click something off, then it automatically disappears. So we'll have to turn it off and then turn it on and then re-enable to get it back to how it was. Except I don't want that cloud, I want the night layer. Okay, so now for the first animation, I'm just going to animate the position of these different layers. So select all, Command A, press P to bring up position. Then I'm going to start around 1 second and set a keyframe for all of these just by clicking the stopwatch icon. And that sets a keyframe for all of them. And then I'm going to go forward to 1.5 seconds and let's decide which ones we want to bring down. I think let's pull down the evening and the night tab. So if we take the evening and the night tabs, select both, and drag it down, that's pretty cool. So that's going to pull down. We want it to pause. And then let's copy these keyframes for each of these layers. And I do that individually. And then let's go forward. And actually here, let's set a keyframe for everything. Because right now we're saying everything is right here. And then at 3 seconds, let's decide what we want. So let's set everything back to how it was originally. So I'm copying and pasting this first keyframe, but now I want to decide what we want. And maybe what I want to do is actually bring everything up so we see the night. So select all these keyframes and drag up until we see the night. So now everything, let me click off so we can see it better, and let me turn off our title action safe so we can see it even more clearly. Everything drops down, it pauses, and then everything pulls back up as if you were swiping up from the night. So you swipe down for the day, you swipe the evening down to see the day, and then you pull up the night. Cool, right? And then at the very end, let's just copy and paste all these keyframes. And notice that I do them individually because if I grab all of these keyframes, copy, and then paste, what happens is it duplicates the layer, not the keyframe. When copying and pasting keyframes, you have to do it on an individual layer basis. So copying and pasting, whoops, let me get that one. And then at 5 seconds, let's just copy and paste the first keyframe. And the reason why I want to do that is because I want to create a perfect loop. So I can loop this animation of the app working. So you see how it loops? At the end, it's the same as the beginning. Now let's just select all of these. Let's add motion blur, enable motion blur, and add easy ease. So select all, F9 on my keyboard, go into my graph editor, make sure I'm on the speed graph, select all of them, and then take the left keyframes, drag to the right keyframes, drag to the left. Let's see if that looks good though, because sometimes the popping effect doesn't necessarily look as natural for these kinds of things. I think that looks pretty good. I think this goes a little too fast right here. So I'm just going to extend this like 1/4 of a second, and I'm happy with that. Okay, so the other thing that's going on is when the tabs are opened, the icons in that tab become more opaque. So what I want to do is disenable Shy Guy. I'm going to turn on the cloud and the sun for the day tab, select both of those, and then press T. When it's closed, I'm going to set a keyframe for the opacity right here at 25. And while I'm at it, I'm just going to set it here at the end for 25 as well. And then I'm going to go to the middle and bring it all the way up to 100. And then at this keyframe, all the way at 100. And for this, all easy ease, but I don't need to necessarily go into the graph editor. So F9. So that's good. And then on the evening one, so here, let's go to our evening moon, press T, set a keyframe there, one at the end, and then in the middle, we'll bring up all the way to 100% for both of those keyframes. Then F9. Cool. The other thing that was going on in our original comp was that the sun was actually just spinning the whole time, which I kind of like. So let's go into our app and go to the very beginning, closing down everything. Let's find our sun. Press R for rotation, set a keyframe, then go forward and then just rotate, not too much, maybe like 45 degrees, and then drag that keyframe to the end. And then I'll copy these keyframes, go to our other sun, which is on the top in the morning. I still want that to be rotating, and paste it. So now if I press T, or R rather, you have those rotation keyframes for both of these layers. So let me render this out and let's play it with the space bar. All right, here you go. So you get the sun rotating. Okay, this is pretty cool. What I noticed though is that the rotation, it jumps when it gets to here. So we're gonna have to find a spot where it rotates here where it matches the first keyframe, and it's right in the middle. So 36 should look good. Yes, 36. So it's right where the rays are, where one of the rays is perfectly up and down. So that last rotation keyframe should be 36. And that looks good. Cool, so that's how you animate the app, the user design part of it. In the next lesson, we're going to be putting it all together in this little iPhone screen. We're going to be adding the background and the reflection and the motion as well. Thanks so much for watching.